This is the Nissan R35 GTR, the Nismo edition, just to clarify. And this car in Gran Turismo 7 produces 1042 brake horsepower, which is a lot of power and makes it a really good supercar, one of the best in fact. Now this engine, the VR38 DETT that comes out of the GTR, is one of the most swapped engines in Gran Turismo 7. With this being one of the most commonly used engines, there are a lot of engines that are almost being left in the shadows by Polyphony Digital, like this. This is the Audi Quattro Pikes Peak Special. Now this vehicle comes with a 5-cylinder turbocharged engine that produces 788 brake horsepower. With it being a Group B vehicle, well, this engine has great fuel consumption, has a decent amount of power, and is one of the best sounding Group B engines you can own. And somehow there's only one car that can receive this engine swap, and that is the Mark 1 Golf. Now the problem with this engine swap is, yes, the Mark 1 Golf is lightweight, only weighing 819 kgs. With older cars in Gran Turismo 7, they don't really handle the power as well as a modern vehicle. Now for this, I see that this engine swap from the Audi Quattro would be a lot better suited in a vehicle like the Volvo V40 T5R design. Now that is a modern hot hatch which will just simply handle the power a lot better. The Volvo already has a 5-cylinder engine in it, so the 5-cylinder from the Audi should fit right into the Volvo, and it will pump up the power by more than 300 horsepower, because the fully upgraded Volvo is only capable of 451 brake horsepower. So you are gonna be just experiencing a lot faster of a Volvo, and giving another reason why people should drive it, because a Volvo isn't really that old to Gran Turismo 7. So another great option, since we are on the topic of hot hatches, would be the Golf 7 GTI. Now look, this may be the closest thing we get to an RS swapped Golf 7, so I'm gonna have to take the chance. Now the reason I say the Golf 7 GTI, because it is lighter than the Volvo, and with again the engine swap from the Audi Quattro, it will just bump up their power, making it one of the ultimate hot hatches in Gran Turismo 7, really spicing up the Golf 7. Now if we receive the engine swap for the Volvo and the Golf 7, it would then make these vehicles eligible for money grinding, which means you will get some use out of these engine swaps, so it's not a pointless engine swap. But an engine swap that I consider pointless but also more fun has to be this. This is the Chevrolet Corvette ZR1 C6. This engine swap, fully upgraded, produces 995 brake horsepower, and the LS9 from this Corvette only goes into the Pontiac Firebird Trans Am, which is an absolute crime. Now in the Trans Am, it is so much power, almost too much power for the Trans Am to handle. Once again, older vehicles don't handle high horsepower extremely well, and with this engine swap producing almost 1000 horsepower, yeah, that little Firebird is screaming. So yes, you are gonna have a fantastic time, but if you actually want to utilize this engine swap, well, my suggestion would be to put it into a different vehicle. And for me, I actually went to Europe to try and find these cars, so I came up with two options, being Audi Gran Turismo S. With this car already having a V8 in, another V8 won't hurt it, and it produces a decent amount of power, and it handles power really well. Because we see the standard engine fully upgraded produces 726 brake horsepower, so an added 200 horsepower wouldn't really ruin the formula, and I think it would still be an absolute fun vehicle. But an even better choice in my opinion would be the Jaguar F-Type R. That with the LS9 engine, yo! Now that would really be something spicy and something that I would be driving a lot, because I just feel like the Corvette engine notes with the handling from the Jaguar, it's just the perfect pairing, and I would love to see that actually come to the game. Now why I say this is a useless engine swap, because Yes, the speed of everything will increase, but the usability of it will not. There aren't really that many events that we can see. Like, if the event has fuel consumption involved, don't even try, because this V8 is an absolute gas guzzler. So it won't be the most efficient thing out there, but it would really just push the Jaguar to its limits. Now, it may not even really feel that difference, because the standard Jaguar engine already produces 831 brake horsepower, which is quite a lot. So an extra 160 horsepower may not do much, or it could completely transform the vehicle. But what I think is another fantastic engine swap that is slept on has to be the Pagani Huayra. So the Pagani Huayra engine can currently only go into the Mark IV Supra. Now, the reason for the Supra getting a V12 swap is because I think it's a reference to Smokey Nagata. He put a V12 in his Supra, and I think, I don't know, I'm not saying hey this is exactly what happened, but to my knowledge that is what's been speculated. So the Supra with this Huayra engine produces 1054 brake horsepower, which is so much power. The Supra is so fun, and it's just exciting to use, and the perfect vehicle that I would love to see the Pagani engine go into now would be the Mercedes AMG GTS. Now, the reason I say that is because I have this vehicle and I've never tried it out. Why? Because the better versions of the AMG GTS, like the AMG GTR or the AMG GT Black Series, there's no real reason to try out the AMG GTS. So if we took the Pagani Huayra engine and put it into the AMG GTS, it would really give another reason as to why people should try out the AMG GTS, why they should try it out and not skip over it for the better alternatives that's already in the game. Plus, with 1054 brake horsepower, I believe the AMG GTS would be so much fun, because the vehicle, well, the AMG GTs produce a decent amount of downforce, so it will be handling amazingly around circuits, have a ton of power, and will be an absolute track weapon, and it should dominate any hypercar parade that you take it around. So these are a few of the engine swaps that are being slept on by Polyphony Digital, and I would love to see them actually be used a lot more. Now, I am thinking about making this a series because there are a lot of engine swaps that are actually being slept on in games. So let me know your thoughts and opinions of this video in the comment section down below. Let me know your thoughts on these engine swaps, and with this being said, hopefully soon we will actually see these engine swaps being used, and not just our LS7 from the BRZ, our VR38 from the R35 Nismo, and just not another K20 swap. So look, we're gonna have to wait and see for the new engine swaps that come out with next month's update. So with this being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.